radio coverage of 19NTC. You know what that is. It's the 2019 Nonprofit Technology Conference. You know that we're coming to you from the Convention Center in Portland, Oregon, and that all of our 19NTC interviews are brought to you by our partners at Act Blue, free fundraising tools to help nonprofits make an impact. What you don't know is that my panel now is seated with me, and they are Adam London, Carrie Rice, and Anneliese Davis. Adam is the founder of Project Donor Love. Carrie is a nonprofit consultant at Carrie Rice Consulting, and Anneliese Davis is the executive director at Rahab's Sisters. Welcome to each of you.
Thank you, Tony.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. Your session topic was 21st Century Major Giving, creating an effective online major gift program. I thought this was interesting. I don't see much about online major giving programs, so that's what caught my attention to this. Why I invited you to come. I like to start down the end, because the person down the end sometimes feels least part of this, although they're not, but sometimes they feel. So we're going to start with Anneliese. What are the possibilities here? Just like headline, over big picture. What are the possibilities here of online major giving?
Well, we're a very small organization that didn't really start doing fundraising in an intentional way until I came on board as the first staff member a year and a half ago. And so working with Carrie and Adam, they've helped us think creatively about how we engage people online without having a huge development staff or a lot of board members who could go out and talk to major gifts.
Okay, so you moved it online, or you didn't move it online, you started it online.
We started it online.
Your major gift program is native online.
It is.
Okay, and you work with Carrie?
I did, yeah, we do, absolutely. She did a wonderful board retreat for us last year, and then it grew into this project.
No surprise. Carrie, is this a trend that I'm not aware of? Are you seeing more gift programs online?
We're starting the trend.
You're starting. Okay.
Yes, it was more like an area where we saw that there was a hole out there, which was that there are people who, for example, in an in-person ask, if you, let's say you've done all the research, you're ready to make the ask for $25, $50, $100,000, whatever it is, that if you then get a pledge from them, you have to go home, get an invoice, write a check, get a return envelope, and so forth, and do all these things to make the donation.
Yeah.
Whereas in this way, someone says, yeah, that's it, $100,000, sounds great. And you say, well, if you want, you can fill out this form right now and get your frequent flyer miles right now on your black card.
Yeah.
And boom, it's done. So that was something that people started saying, like, that's a really good idea. And then also being able to directly, using direct mail or using email, to be able to contact people who are major donors. In Anneliese's case, they're just now figuring out what a major donor is and what their capacity is.
Yeah.
But figuring out what that number is, and then being able to direct people to a different form. It's not a poor form and a rich form. It's just an unlisted form where you can directly,
We'll get to the details.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adam, what's Project Donor Love's role in this? You have online major giving also?
Sure. So Project Donor Love is an agency in San Francisco. We design and build custom websites and reporting tools.
Oh, pardon me.
for
You're
nonprofits.
You're not a nonprofit.
I'm not a nonprofit.
Oh,
no.
okay. Project Donor Love sounds like okay.
Yes, indeed.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead, explain.
No problem.
What you're
So
doing.
yes, we design and build custom websites and reporting tools for nonprofits. We have a particular interest in donation forms, in optimizing and customizing donation forms to get the maximum conversions out of them. And we also are interested in bringing in modern UX practices and also leveraging the organization's data to really improve their fundraising online.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what's the I guess clearly for Rahab Sisters, this is the beginning of your major gift program. You've just been doing fundraising, you said, for a year and a half. For a more mature organization that's got a well-established major gift program, and let's say, our listeners are in small and mid-sized shops, so let's say they define a major gift as $10,000. Okay? And of course, they have giving at the $1,000 level. There's a society for that, et cetera. But they define for their fundraising major gifts $10,000. Carrie, what would be the advantage to looking at an online major gift program for them? What would that look like?
Well, the first thing is we have very passionate and strong views about recurring gifts. So if you were someone who considered yourself prepared to give $10,000 as a one-time gift, there's a pretty good chance that you're willing to give $1,000 a month. So I just raised your gift 20%, and now you can split it up into $1,000 a month, which fits into your monthly budget. So it's kind of a different way of thinking about it. It's just right there off the top. By encouraging the recurring gifts on the major, on the form, it gives people the opportunity to actually give someone a little more.
So what's new then is that we're offering someone the opportunity to make a $10,000 gift online, and then I understand we're trying to convert them to Sustainer, but we're offering higher levels of giving online.
That's correct.
Versus the tradition, which would be
case, right.
over $5,000, you'd have to send a check or transfer stock.
Exactly. And in the case of an organization like Rahab Sisters, they use a fairly small, less robust donation platform. And so we kind of had to pick, are we going to encourage one-time gifts or are we going to encourage recurring gifts? And so in this particular case, we chose only monthly gifts and to make it only a major gift sustainer level, period.
Okay.
Because that was the best thing to do with the software that was available in this situation.
And Anneliese, what kind of outcomes are you seeing? What kinds of interest are you, getting any feedback from donors?
Well, we've just started rolling it out with our supporters. We have been, typically we've had very low, like a $15, $20 a month sustainer kind of program.
Yeah.
And now we're being able to go out and ask folks, for us, would you do $100 a month? We can just click right here and get you signed up. And people like the convenience of being able to do it right then and there. And it kind of speeds the process along because, again, being a one-person shop for everything, the less follow-up I have to do after that particular meeting, the better.
The much better. Yeah, okay. Adam, what is your advice around streamlining this process that we're talking about?
So yeah, Carrie was talking about trying to get recurring gifts. That's definitely part of it. The biggest thing probably is segmentation. Actually, with all fundraising, segmentation's critical, but particularly when we're talking about major gifts online. Firstly, we want the major gift form or forms to be something that is hidden from the main navigation. So this is something that you are only directing your major givers to via email or doing it in person or via direct mail.
Oh, okay.
And then
why is that?
Well, because the first reason is that there's no very graceful way to have a donation landing page that says, big money here and little money here. And also, if you have a single donation form that has both very large suggested amounts in the thousands of dollars and then more typical online donation amounts to $21, $50, that's a confusing situation for anyone who lands there. If you're a small donor, those large amounts might make you think, well, is my $50 gift even worth it if they're asking for $5,000?
Okay, and if you're at the high end,
right,
you're feeling like, why am I on the same page as the $25 donor?
Exactly, yes. Do they really need this $5,000 if they're asking for $25? So making sure that these two populations get into donation forms that are targeted at the amount you expect them to make is key.
Okay.
And then you can also have multiple donation forms as another great aspect of doing this online, because if you're able to segment your major donors more finely into high level donors, high mid donors, etc., then you can have separate donation forms for each of these segments, or separate donation forms per campaign, or things like that.
Okay. From your session description, you talked about using this at events as an in-person ask. Now, Carrie, you were describing the in-person asks earlier. What about at events? How does that look like?
So at an event, let's say you're having a reasonably priced, for example, like a gala or something that's like one of the higher
tickets
or
exactly. $250
not something
tickets.
that's $10 a ticket.
Yeah.
And then you have iPads set up around the room. and or you have interns or assistants who are able to go around from table to table and say, instead of filling out this pledge envelope, you've seen those pledge envelopes in the middle of the table, please take a pledge envelope and fill it out. But if someone came up to you and said,
they've got a tablet in their
here you
hand
go. I'm going to hand it to you right now, and I'm not going to show you the $15 to $75 one. I'm going to show you the...
All right, so we're going around to the tables.
Going around to the tables, or
and
having
we're saying,
it
would anyone?
available.
What does that ask look like? Or like to the table, you're saying, would anyone like to make a gift tonight?
Right,
or something like that?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then to say, I have a really easy way, and then I like to, be somewhat playful for it and say, you can have your frequent flyer miles by tomorrow.
Yeah, you mentioned that on the black card. Yeah.
Yeah, just being able to say, just do this right here, right now, and boom, you'll get an instant thank you. That has a photograph and an impact statement. And then I know for Rahab Sisters, they send a handwritten, personalized thank you card a little bit later in the future.
Okay.
But they get that instant gratification.
Oh, good. All right, so Anneliese, you've done this at events, or an event.
Not yet. It's on
it's
track
coming
for
up.
our coming up event.
Okay.
They're just really good at thanking people. I just know that from personal experience.
All right. So then the person with who's working for the organization just asks, how much would you like to donate?
Right, so
And
they're going to show them a major donor level. So again, let's say it's $200 a person, and so you've got on the sheet or on the form, 500, 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, and fill in the amount you want.
Yeah.
And then they look at that and then they can say, well, can I give $100? Yes. Can I give $1 million? Yes.
All right.
But we're prepping them. We're prompting them to be thinking, okay, I paid $200 to come here. And I was planning on giving something anyway, and this is like this super simple way to do it.
Yeah. All right. So if it is a $200 a ticket gala, where would you start the ask string? What would your advice be?
Well, I would say get them drinking first.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we didn't talk about the timing. We're just where in that. Yeah. Okay. So toward the end of the evening.
Physically?
Yeah. No. On the donation form, where would you start the ask string? What would the numbers be?
The amount.
What amount would you start?
That's totally going to depend on the organization.
Isn't that called an ask string?
Yes.
Ask that or
Yeah.
ask, yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
You're making me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I feel like
where
I
would you
don't know
start?
what I'm talking about.
I didn't know what. Yeah. Oh, you thought I meant what time in the program or
Yes.
the agenda? Okay.
Yeah.
But really, so you can't generalize if it's $200 ticket. Would you start the ask string at $250 or $500?
Like 500 or something
You
like
would?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
We are still in the early stages. It's only been less than a year that we've been doing this, so we don't have a huge number to look at
Right.
to be able to
Cutting
go back
edge.
to. But
That's okay.
But yeah, we think it really depends on the organization, and we want to work with the executive director, the development director, maybe even the board to get an idea of what feels like their normal.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd want to look at the donation history of the organization to see what kind of major gifts they've got, what the average major gift,
okay.
and can build the ask.
Base it more
around that.
on a giving history of the organization, like median givers, than the ticket price. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I take the simple-minded approach. I don't know. See, my fundraising is all the consulting I do is all planned giving. So we're not
Right.
talking about these we're not sign your will. We have an attorney in the corner preparing wills, or you here we can do legal Zoom if you want. You can. We're not. So I'm not doing event-based
But on
planned
the-
giving fundraising.
Right, but on the major gift form, there could be a little box there that says, "I'm interested in
For
planned
sure.
giving."
Oh, absolutely. But I'm not running fundraising at events as planned giving. But I'm not saying, yeah, of course. Oh,
Right.
I'm the evangelist for planned giving without the religious overtones. I mean, I'm always put it on your envelope flaps, put it on your business cards, put it in your email signature, include us in your will. Ask how. So yes. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Another great point about these forms.
I guess I was just trying to justify my simple-minded suggestion of basing it on the ticket price. Okay, go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to say another great point about doing this online is that you can also integrate these online forms into a more traditional major gift ask situation, a living room type of situation.
Explain that. Yeah. So you can make the couple
Right,
has
so-
decided no point in waiting.
Exactly.
If you
so
like,
if your online form works well with mobile devices, which it definitely should do,
Yes.
then you can bring a tablet to a meeting with a major donor.
Sure.
And then when they're ready to make the donation, instead of writing the check or getting a promise to make a donation, you can actually have them get their credit card and make the donation right there.
Would you like to do it right now?
Yes,
No
and then-
pressure.
exactly.
But if you'd like, we can do it right now, and you can have your frequent flyer miles tomorrow.
Right.
Well,
Right, and I think that for Anneliese, that's going to end up being a good fit for your board members, for example.
Yes, absolutely. And Adam, I was thinking about in my previous life before I did grassroots nonprofits and I did large asks from major donors. I had one ask situation where the CEO insisted that after the person had made the $100,000 commitment, that she had to get their credit card right then. And the only thing I had in my purse was a valet ticket. And so we wrote her credit card for a $100,000 gift on the back of a valet ticket. And so this approach feels
the
much
most
more
secure.
secure.
Sophisticated,
Yes,
secure.
definitely.
Right. That's an interesting policy. The CEO, isn't that a lot of pressure for a gift officer? You have to get the credit card.
She
at
was
the moment.
she was a closer. She was a
All right.
yes.
All right.
She was a bold woman.
Thank you for your commitment. Let's do it right now. I mean, I'm saying let's offer to do it right now.
Offer. Exactly.
If you'd rather not use it, our tablet, and you're welcome to mail your check within.
Or we never even
Yeah.
pull out the tablet in the first place because you just know that that's not the right person
Based
for
on
this
the
particular
based on the relationship,
style.
based on the
Exactly.
conversation. If they're in their
'Cause
80s,
you've already been
if they're in their
stewarding
80s and they've already told you 3 times that they never have made a single purchase online, they're certainly not going to make their $50,000 gift
Exactly.
on your tablet. Okay, of course. Okay, we're all learning here. See, I'm trainable. Let's see. Oh, so the events. Yeah, that's really interesting about the events. You also talked about how to create the forms. Adam, any more advice on you can share on the details of the form? Of course, I love the planned giving checkoff. Yes.
Sure.
Thank you for that, Carrie.
As I said, segmentation is key to this. You want to have a separate
Yeah.
form for the major gift form, and
Yeah.
then ideally have different major gift forms for the different giving levels or different segments that you've identified within your major donors. You definitely, especially on a major gift form, on all gift forms really, but these sorts of things become more important as the money goes up. You want your form to look like the rest of your organization's website. That's a place where a lot of nonprofit forms unfortunately fall down, is you'll find a great, well-designed website, good information, easy to navigate, and then you reach the donation form and it looks nothing like the rest of the site. It's a default site, it's a default donation form for whatever vendor they have for their online donation forms.
Yeah.
So finding an online donation form that you can make look like your site, where you can get as much control as you can over what information you're asking for, so you're not forcing people to enter their phone number, for example. Things like that.
Yes.
You want control, you want it to look like your form, and you definitely want it to work well on mobile devices.
Yeah, we're past the mobile optimization discussion, right?
Oh, yes.
We just know that
We just know.
everything, including your donation form, needs to be optimized for tablet and phone. Okay, we are past that. Okay.
Oh, yes,
I hope
definitely.
so. I hope
we still have to bring it up, and we still have to.
We do
talk
have to bring
about
it up, unfortunately. Yes,
Yeah, we
especially when
still-
it comes to forms.
Yeah, we still remind people that over 50% of people today are using mobile first, so it's only going to go up from here. It's not going to go down.
Okay. Anneliese, I'm feeling bad about you over there. You don't have a lot of experience. You're just rolling this out. So, anything you want to say that is related to what Adam and Carrie are saying? Do you want to contribute? I feel
Just
bad for you,
beyond, no.
Becky.
I mean, just beyond from what we were just talking about, I mean, for a small shop, something like this is a really handy tool to have. Like I said, you don't
All
have
right.
to worry about doing as much follow-up, and you've got something in your back pocket you can pull out. And you don't have to use a valet ticket, so that's always a plus, too.
A wrinkled valet ticket. All
Well,
right.
that's a good point, is you don't necessarily need to have a huge budget to get started with this.
Very good.
There
That's
are-
implicit in what we're saying.
Yes.
Because we identify Rahab's as one employee. No, but thank you for making it.
One and a half now, right?
Oh, no, technically we're both part-time, so we're one.
Oh, one
Oh,
one total,
two,
yeah.
Two part-time. All right. So, but thank you for making it explicit, Adam. Absolutely right. This is ideal for small shops.
Right, there's a lot of online donation tools that do have reasonable donation forms that you can work with to integrate into your site and make it look reasonably like your site. and then use those to get started with. Of course, spending more money lets you have more flexibility in terms of what the form is, even getting into personalization for each individual, which can be very powerful.
Okay.
And what Adam was saying earlier about where you send people online, because our support has typically come from volunteers who give very small amounts, the transition we've gone through now where we're going out into the community and getting much larger gifts, volunteers, I've been really worried about how volunteers are going to feel like, is their $15 gift not valued anymore? That's if they see all these higher options.
That's to Adam's point of having segmentation of donation forms so that one caps out at 75 or 100, right? Okay. In the ask string.
Yes.
Which I was implicitly, it was implied that I didn't know what I was talking about when I said ask string. All right. Obstacles. You have a little discussion about obstacles, challenges to this, and how to overcome them. Go ahead, Carrie.
Well, having had the opportunity to work with Anneliese and her board as it was going through a transition, and a new board was coming on where there were, in particular, people who were coming on that had a lot of nonprofit experience. We having the board support for something like this, I mean, it was very possible when we proposed this to Anneliese that her board could have said, like, what do we need with a major gift form? We've only been, but she has an incredibly supportive board. And so making sure that you have board support and that they understand why you're bothering to do this is a key component of it. It's not just about the staff and the donors being happy, but it's also about making sure that that everybody gets it and that the board supports it.
What would you say? Well, suppose you're I'm putting you in a hypothetical now. You're in a board meeting and they're saying exactly that. What do we need online donations for? We have meetings. We have two. That's a little bigger organization. We have 2 full-time fundraisers. What do we need online donation forms for? Who's this consultant? Who brought this consultant to this meeting?
Right, exactly.
They don't go that far.
Yeah, well, no. I mean,
What would you
everybody's
say?
grateful for a consultant. Why would anybody complain about a consultant?
Right, but just
We're
not
perfect.
to your face. What would you say to that reluctant board?
I would say this is in the improv, the yes and. This is, everything you're doing is great. We're not telling you to do anything different. We're just giving you an additional tool to use. And so if, for example, I were stewarding someone and things have been going really well, and I'm ready to send them an email solicitation, then I can put the hyperlink to the major gift form. Same thing with a direct mail piece, same thing with a conversation, whatever. But I can build that as being a norm for those donors, but it's really up to the officer of how they're going to use it. Again, Anneliese doesn't have the opportunity to have someone who's going to be dedicated to using this, but she also, she's very sophisticated with her online usage, so she's going to be able to go in and change the amounts or add another form or do those kinds of things on her own. And then if she ends up with a development director in the not too distant future, then that person can say, okay, wow, amazing, this organization already has this tool set up for me. I'm going to see where it's appropriate to use it.
All right, so you persuade the board that it's just another tool. And
the officer and the
the
fundraisers.
gift officer uses it at their discretion when the relationship is right, and
or the board
like
members,
we've talked about.
right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'd also
or the
argue
volunteers.
that it's
Sure.
a future-facing thing. I think that online major gift fundraising is going to be more and more standard as time goes on. I mean, where we're based in San Francisco, there were plenty of young households with an income over $300,000 who don't really use checks for anything.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of people out there who are willing to make major gifts online, and
Or
the number
cash
of those
even.
will increase.
Or cash.
Right.
Not using cash either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. That as they mature, that trend is just gonna continue.
Right.
Yeah. I was with somebody. They were it was a nephew and a niece, probably under 30 at the time, and we were coming back from a restaurant, and they were locked out of their apartment, and the building owner sent the representative, but it was late, so there was a $50 service charge to open the lock, and neither one of them had the cash, and they couldn't. And they got into the apartment. He did let them in, and they couldn't find their checkbook. I mean, I know exactly where my checkbook is, and I always carry cash, but neither one of them had either one. I had to front the $50 for the service for the midnight service call to get them into their apartment to not find cash or a checkbook inside. They couldn't find it.
Did you get your $50 back?
No, that's still a point of contention. You're right. You're right. And as a result, I did not send a birthday gift this year. So I was, no. So no, don't mess with me. I bailed them out. I mean, if it hadn't been for me, the guy would not have let them in. What would they have done?
Absolutely.
Gone to an ATM? Maybe they couldn't find their debit card. I mean, they couldn't find their checkbook, for God's sake.
But this
I
would
know
be-
exactly where my checkbook's in my top dresser drawer.
Right, but if you had if that vendor, the person that was sent out,
Yeah, that was the owner,
had the
the building owner or
square,
something.
then they could take the person's credit
They
card
could
and
have,
swipe it
but
for $50.
it's an unsophisticated
But that's where things are
vendor.
going. Is that
Yeah.
I want to be able to just go on my phone and be like, oh, $50 to Tony, $50, boom,
Yeah.
gone. And so why not take that to these other levels of, it's just that's how they're used to doing things. They go on Amazon and, Adam and I were interviewing someone at one point who was talking about how she walks around her house with her phone, and when she notices that she needs something, she literally just goes on Amazon, places an order, and then later in the day she'll place another order. It's her appendage,
Yeah.
and she just
Yeah, yeah.
orders things one at a time. So why not make donating that easy too? As close to an e-commerce site as possible, without being an e-commerce site, unless you're, like you said, one of the enterprise-sized nonprofits who really can make this a robust program. And as Rahab Sisters grows, they're looking at their own donor program, donor management software, and saying, oh, well, this has certain limitations on it. As we grow, we can change products and find something that's going to allow the monthly gifts and the one-time gifts in a way that works best.
Yeah. All right. You know what? That's a perfect wrap. That's a perfect conclusion. We're gonna leave it there. They are Adam London, founder of Project Donor Love, which is not a nonprofit. It's a
Correct.
consultancy.
Yes.
Thank you. Carrie Rice, nonprofit consultant also, Carrie Rice Consulting, and Anneliese Davis, the executive director of Rahab's Sisters. Thanks to each of you.
Thank you very
so
much.
Thank you so much
My
for having us,
pleasure.
Tony.
You're welcome. And thank you for being with Tony Martignetti Nonprofit Radio coverage of 19NTC. All of our 19NTC interviews are brought to you by our partners at Act Blue, free fundraising tools to help nonprofits make an impact.